For 10,000 years, every child in the galaxy learned the same sentence. Earth was erased. Teachers repeated it, history books confirmed it, museums displayed it. The human extinction became one of the oldest accepted facts in civilization. No one questioned it anymore, because no one had ever found proof that humanity survived. Until today, the Grand Galactic Museum floated above the capital world of the Coalition. It wasn't just a museum. It was where history itself was protected. Inside its largest chamber, thousands of visitors stood beneath the skeleton of an ancient human starship. The guide smiled confidently. "Welcome. Today we explore the greatest mystery ever solved." He pointed toward a massive holographic Earth. This world was completely destroyed exactly 10,017 years ago. The planet slowly cracked apart inside the projection. Children watched with wide eyes. The human civilization vanished. The survivors, there were none. A young alien boy raised his hand. "Why did humans disappear?" The guide answered without hesitation. "They challenged powers beyond their understanding. They lost." The room remained silent. Behind the guide stood a sealed glass case. Inside rested a worn blue and white spacesuit helmet. Its visor was cracked. Dust covered every surface. The plaque beneath it read, "Recovered from the ruins of Earth, last known human artifact." Visitors took pictures. Parents explained to their children that humanity had become a legend. Then, a little girl quietly frowned. She couldn't have been older than 7. She looked at the helmet for several long seconds. Then softly asked, "If they're extinct, why does it look clean?" The guide laughed politely. "The restoration team maintains all historical artifacts." The girl slowly shook her head. "No, I mean, it looks like someone still wears it." Several adults smiled. Children often imagined impossible things. The tour continued. Far away, nearly 3 million kilometers outside Coalition space, a forgotten relay station drifted through the darkness. No crew, no visitors, no purpose. It had been abandoned for over 4,000 years. Its systems should have been dead. Its power core should have failed centuries ago. Yet, one tiny green light suddenly blinked. Once, twice. Then every system inside the station awakened. Ancient processors began calculating. Old antennas slowly turned toward a distant point beyond the galaxy. For exactly 6 seconds, nothing happened. Then, a transmission arrived. Not loud, not dramatic, just one calm automated message. "Earth Outpost 1 status." Green silence. The station paused, as though confirming what it had just heard. Then every emergency beacon activated simultaneously. The ancient relay broadcast the message across every major communication network it could still reach. Inside the Grand Galactic Museum, every hologram suddenly disappeared. Lights flickered. Emergency sirens echoed through the building. Visitors looked around in confusion. The guide frowned. This has never happened before. Then the enormous central display activated by itself. No museum employee had touched it. No security officer had authorized it. Across the giant screen, only 4 words appeared. "Earth Outpost 1 status." Green. The guide stared at the message. "What?" One historian immediately laughed. "This is obviously a prank." Another scientist nodded. "Someone hacked the museum." The Central Museum AI interrupted. Its voice sounded strangely different. Almost respectful. "Signal authenticated." Every conversation stopped. The historian frowned. "Authenticate again." 5 seconds passed. "Authentication confirmed." "Signal age." The AI paused. Several processors overloaded. Finally, it answered. "Transmission origin, Earth." Complete silence. One child whispered, "But, Earth doesn't exist." Across the galaxy, the same transmission appeared. Military command centers, universities, research stations, trading ships, private homes, even pirate networks. Everyone received the identical message. "Earth Outpost 1 status." Green. Within minutes, the Galactic Council declared a Level 1 historical emergency. Every senior scientist was summoned. Every archive reopened. Every classified human record was unsealed for the first time in thousands of years. Inside the council chamber, the Chancellor looked around the room. "No mistakes. No assumptions. I want facts." A communications officer stood. The transmission is real. Another officer continued. It originated from coordinates matching Earth's last recorded position. The Chancellor frowned. Impossible. A military admiral crossed his arms. Perhaps someone built a station there. The chief historian slowly shook his head. No, no one has entered the Sol system. For over 9,000 years. The room erupted into arguments. Some believed it was a trap. Others insisted it had to be ancient automated equipment. One elderly historian quietly remained silent. He opened a forgotten archive no one had accessed in centuries. Its security seal read, Project Ashes. His hands trembled. Inside, he found one handwritten sentence. Not digital, written by ink. The final note of an explorer who had vanished long ago. It read, If Earth ever speaks again, do not celebrate. The historian's heartbeat quickened. What did they know? Before he could finish reading, every light inside the council chamber dimmed. A second transmission arrived. Unlike the first, this one contained a human voice. Old, calm, steady. The recording lasted only 6 seconds. The voice simply said, If you're hearing this, you're 10,000 years late. Then, the transmission ended. No explanation, no warning, nothing. Across the council chamber, no one moved. The Chancellor slowly looked toward the stars beyond the chamber window. Then quietly whispered, Prepare an expedition. I want someone standing on Earth. Before the next signal arrives. Far beyond the galaxy, hidden inside absolute darkness, a pair of ancient blue eyes slowly opened. And for the first time in 10,000 years, someone smiled. The expedition reached Earth's orbit. 48 hours later, no one aboard the Coalition flagship spoke. Because the view before them made no sense. According to every historical record, Earth should not exist. Yet there it was, scarred, silent, covered in endless oceans and ruined continents. It wasn't alive, but it wasn't dead either. Captain Reen Sol broke the silence. Life signs. The scanner officer looked confused. None. Cities. None. Power sources. Quote. 1. Every head turned. Repeat that. The officer swallowed. One active power source. It has been transmitting continuously. For 10,000 years. The bridge fell silent. The signal came from a mountain range deep beneath layers of ash and ice. Commander Vel Orin folded his arms. No civilization can power a beacon for 10,000 years. The science officer answered quietly, unless someone has been maintaining it. No one liked that answer. Dropships descended through Earth's atmosphere. The clouds were gray. The oceans were strangely calm. Ruined skyscrapers stretched across the horizon like broken skeletons. Ancient highways disappeared beneath forests that had reclaimed the planet. Nature had erased almost every trace of humanity. Almost. As the team approached the signal source, they found a massive steel blast door built into a mountain. Its surface carried no rust, no damage, no cracks, only one symbol, a blue planet, surrounded by a silver ring. The science officer frowned. I've never seen this emblem. The historian's face turned pale. I have. Everyone looked toward him. He whispered, It appears only once. In forbidden human records. What does it mean? He hesitated, then answered, Home. A robotic voice suddenly echoed across the valley. Identity required. The soldiers immediately raised their weapons. Commander Vel stepped forward. This is an official coalition expedition. Silence. Then, request denied. A loud metallic sound echoed beneath the mountain. Ancient machines. We're waking up. Hidden defense turrets slowly emerged from the rock. Not aiming. Simply watching. The AI spoke again. Human identification required. Commander Vel frowned. There are no humans. Silence. Then, something impossible happened. The blast door slowly unlocked. Every weapon on the mountain powered down. The AI calmly announced, Human lifeform detected. The expedition members looked at each other in shock. No, that's impossible. The enormous door opened. Cold air rushed outward. The tunnel beyond glowed with soft blue lights. Commander Vel took the first step inside. The others followed carefully. The deeper they walked, the newer everything looked. Dust disappeared. Walls became spotless. Machines quietly hummed. Nothing appeared abandoned. It felt occupied. After several minutes, the tunnel opened into an enormous underground chamber. Thousands of suspended cryopods lined the walls. Every pod was empty. The historian whispered, "They're all gone." In the center of the chamber, a single chair faced a giant observation window. Someone was sitting there, back turned toward the expedition. Gray hair, old shoulders, simple dark clothing. The figure calmly watched the stars. Commander Vel slowly approached. "Identify yourself." The old man didn't move. Instead, he asked a question. "What year is it?" Commander Vel answered cautiously. "Year 10,017 after the fall of Earth." Several seconds passed. Then the old man quietly laughed. Not with joy, with relief. So, the beacon worked. He slowly stood, turned around, and every member of the expedition froze. A human, alive, old, but unmistakably human. His blue eyes calmly studied each visitor. No fear, no surprise, as though he had expected them all along. The science officer whispered, "Impossible." Commander Vel finally found his voice. You're alive." The old man smiled gently. "I've been alive." He looked toward the stars again. "The question is, where have all of you been?" No one answered. Commander Vel stepped closer. "Our records say humanity became extinct." The human chuckled softly. "History is written by people who stop asking questions." The historian stared at him. "What is your name?" The old man answered without hesitation. "Elias. Guardian. Nothing more. No rank, no title. Just 2 words." Commander Vel frowned. "Guardian." Elias slowly nodded. "I stayed behind to make sure no one opened this place. Until the right day." The historian looked toward the empty cryopods. "Where are the others?" Elias smiled. "Safe." Commander Vel immediately demanded, "Safe where?" Elias didn't answer. Instead, he walked toward an ancient control console, placed his weathered hand upon it. Every light inside the chamber suddenly turned white. Deep beneath the mountain, something enormous awakened. The ground trembled. Across Earth's orbit, Coalition satellites detected impossible energy readings. Warning alarms echoed through every ship. The bridge officer shouted, "Commander! Something is rising from beneath the planet." Back inside the vault, Commander Vel looked at Elias. "What did you just activate?" The old Guardian looked directly into his eyes. His expression remained perfectly calm. Then he spoke the sentence that changed galactic history forever. "I didn't activate Earth's defense system." He smiled. "I told humanity you're here." At that exact moment, across the dark side of the moon, a colossal object hidden beneath the lunar surface began to move. And the stars themselves started disappearing. The stars started disappearing, not because they exploded, not because they went dark. Something unimaginably massive was moving between them. Across every coalition warship, emergency alarms screamed. "Unknown object detected." "No, unknown objects." The tactical display struggled to update. One signal became 10, 10 became hundreds, hundreds became thousands. Captain Reen stared at the screen. "What are we looking at?" The fleet AI answered after several long seconds. "Classification, unknown. Estimated size, planetary." Silence. No civilization had ever built ships that large. Then, the moon itself began to crack. Not from an attack, from the inside. Ancient stone split apart in complete silence. Millions of tons of rock drifted into space. Hidden beneath the lunar surface, something black slowly emerged. It wasn't a weapon. It wasn't a station. It was a ship. A colossal human ark. Its surface was covered in glowing blue symbols no alien language could translate. Commander Vel whispered, "This was hidden here all along." Back inside the underground vault, the floor vibrated gently. Commander Elias calmly watched the control console. One by one, ancient systems awakened. Lunar Ark Online, Earth Defense Network Online, Guardian Protocol restored. The expedition members looked at each other in disbelief. The historian finally spoke. "You knew we would come." Elias smiled. "I knew someone would." Commander Vel stepped closer. "You've been alone for 10,000 years." Elias looked toward the empty cryo chambers. "I wasn't alone." The commander frowned. "There isn't another person here." Elias slowly shook his head. There doesn't have to be. He placed his hand against the cold metal wall. I had a promise to keep. Silence filled the chamber. The science officer quietly asked, "What happened?" Elias took a slow breath. Then, for the first time, he told the truth. 10,000 years ago, humanity discovered something. Not a weapon, not a new world, a message. Every person leaned forward. It came from outside our galaxy. It contained only one warning. When they find you, run. Commander Vel frowned. Who are they? Elias answered softly. We didn't know, so we stayed. The holographic projector activated. Ancient recordings appeared. Earth, alive, crowded, beautiful. Children played in green parks. Cities reached the clouds. Families laughed together. The coalition officers watched silently. No history book had ever shown humanity like this. Then, the recording changed. Sirens, explosions, people running. An enormous shadow crossed Earth's sky. Not one ship, thousands. No markings, no communication, no demands. They simply watched. For 3 days. Then, they left. Commander Vel looked confused. They didn't attack. Elias nodded. No, they were measuring us. The room fell silent. When they returned, they brought enough power to erase civilizations. The historian whispered, so humanity lost. Elias immediately shook his head. No, we refused to let anyone else lose. He enlarged the recording. Thousands of human colony fleets launched from Earth. Not away from danger. Toward it. Our fleets divided. One group carried our people. The other carried the enemy. Commander Vel's eyes widened. You led them away. Elias nodded. For 10,000 years. Another officer asked. Then why stay here? The old Guardian smiled. Someone had to leave the porch light on. No one spoke. The simple sentence carried more weight than any speech. He had remained completely alone. So that if humanity ever came home, home would still be waiting. Suddenly, every screen in the vault flashed red. The AI announced, unauthorized scan detected. Commander Vel turned sharply. From where? The answer appeared immediately. Beyond Pluto. Beyond the outer edge of the solar system. Something had entered. A single silver object. No engines. No heat. No weapons. Yet it crossed billions of kilometers. In seconds, the AI magnified the image. It looked almost peaceful. A perfectly smooth silver sphere. Only 1 meter wide. Commander Vel frowned. That's the threat. Elias's smile disappeared instantly. No. His voice became colder than anyone had heard before. That's their scout. The sphere stopped. Then, it slowly rotated toward Earth. Across its surface, one blue light appeared. The AI froze. Every human system froze. Even the ancient Guardian computers became completely silent. Then, a voice echoed through the entire solar system. Not loud, not mechanical, calm, ancient. It spoke perfect human language. Guardian Elias. A long pause followed. Then came the words that made even Elias lower his head. You kept your promise. You kept your promise. The voice echoed across the entire solar system. No speakers. No radio frequencies. Every living being simply heard it. Commander Vel instinctively reached for his weapon. Every coalition warship powered its shields. Deep beneath Earth's surface, Elias closed his eyes. For the first time, the old Guardian looked tired. Very tired. He whispered, I hoped you'd never return. The silver sphere drifted silently above the orbit of Pluto. Its surface shimmered like liquid metal. There were no engines, no visible technology, no signs of life, yet every human system recognized it. The Guardian AI spoke in a voice no one had heard before. Visitor confirmed. First observer do not engage. Commander Vel frowned. First observer. Elias slowly nodded. The civilization that warned humanity. Before the Watchers ever arrived. Confusion spread through the room. You mean, they're not your enemy? Elias looked toward the stars. No, they're the reason humanity still exists. 10,000 years earlier, when Earth first detected the mysterious signal, human scientists believed it was another civilization seeking contact. Instead, a single silver sphere had appeared above Earth. Exactly like this one. It never attacked. It never demanded anything. It simply delivered one message. One day, something will come for every civilization that learns too much. Hide your people. Leave someone behind. Then it vanished. Most governments refused to believe it. But humanity listened. Every colony ship was redesigned. Every cryo vault was expanded. Every guardian volunteered, knowing one terrible truth. Someone would have to stay behind. Alone. To keep the beacon alive. Commander Vel looked at Elias. You volunteered. Elias smiled softly. No, we all did. They just chose me. Silence. Lily's story. The auction. The Guardians. Everything suddenly made sense. Humanity had never abandoned its home. It had protected it. The silver sphere slowly descended into Earth's orbit. Coalition fleets prepared for the worst. Yet the sphere ignored every weapon. It stopped directly above the old Guardian vault. Then, a beam of soft white light reached the surface. Not destructive. Gentle. Warm. Elias stepped into the light. Commander Vel tried to stop him. Wait, we still have questions. Elias smiled. You already have the answers. The rest belongs to humanity. The white light surrounded him. The years seemed to disappear from his face. The exhaustion faded. For a brief moment, he looked exactly as he had 10,000 years ago. Young, hopeful. The silver sphere spoke one final time. Guardian Elias, your watch has ended. A quiet smile appeared on the old Guardian's face. He looked toward Earth, then toward the stars, finally, toward the coalition officers. Take care of them, all of them, not humans, everyone, because after 10,000 years, humanity had learned one lesson greater than survival. A civilization becomes truly great when it protects lives beyond its own. Elias slowly closed his eyes. The white light carried him upward. No pain, no fear, only peace. As the light disappeared, every dormant system beneath Earth activated. Across the underground vaults, millions of cryopods glowed blue. One by one, human eyes opened. Children, scientists, engineers, doctors, families, an entire civilization, waking from a 10,000-year sleep. Across the galaxy, every communication network received the same transmission. A young human girl's voice. Clear, hopeful, full of life. This is Earth. We're finally home. Silence followed. Then, one by one, alien worlds answered. Not with threats, not with fear, but with greetings. For the first time in recorded history, the entire galaxy welcomed humanity. Years later, the ruins of the old museum became something new. The sign that once read, "Earth was erased," was removed forever. In its place stood a simple inscription. They erased Earth. They were wrong. And beneath those words, a bronze statue of an old man sitting quietly beneath the stars. No weapon in his hands. No crown upon his head. Only a small beacon glowing beside him. The plaque read, "Guardian Elias." He stayed so humanity could return. Every child who visited asked the same question. Did one man really wait 10,000 years? Their teachers always smiled. No, he waited for all of us. And somewhere, beyond the edge of the known universe, the silver sphere silently continued its endless journey, searching for the next civilization worth saving. The end. Thanks for watching. If you love epic sci-fi stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to HFY Sci-Fi for more unforgettable adventures across the galaxy. See you in the next story.